which means that I get to dress up. Tomorrow I'll be fully dressed for the Topdesk Halloween event, which is unfortunately for all of you in Dutch only. But today I want to give you a bit of atmosphere as well. As I see a lot of new people here, I'm first quickly going to introduce myself. My name is Sanne van Opstal-Brakel, and I've been at Topdesk for over 16 years. Nowadays, I'm the community manager, and I am a frequent webinar host, and I love hosting these webinars for you each month. And I've got a question for you all before we dive into today's program. I mentioned I'm a community manager. I currently manage a Dutch community, which is still in WhatsApp, but we're working on something more, something bigger. And my question that I have for you is, if Topdesk were to launch its own community, would you become a member? Send me, you can react via the reactions tool. If it's yes, definitely, send me a heart. Perhaps it can be a party word, or no, it's not. If it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. I'm just curious to hear what you all think about this, and if you would join this community that I am starting. So you can expect something more from me. I'm happy to see that there's a lot of hearts coming in, a lot of party words, even some thumbs up. So yay, thank you thank you very much. Know that you can expect more from this. I see a nice comment from Renee coming in Canada. We've started a monthly meeting with school boards. Well, Renee, if you want to have a place for this in the Topdesk community, feel free to reach out to me as well. We are also looking to start up more like the user groups in this community as well. So there's a lot of opportunity here for customers to connect, either very locally, globally, language orientated, business unit orientated. There's a lot of options that we can start offering you for this now as well. So let's go over to today's program, or no, not today's program, because we have new people. I wanted to share the console with you very quickly. The Q&A you can find all the way to the left. I have some colleagues from support there answering your questions that are coming in. If you do have a question, please let them know where it is about, what it is about, because then it's easier for them to really answer your question quickly. All the resources that I'll be referring to are all the way to the right. This is also where you can download today's presentation. And at the end, you'll see an evaluation survey pop up. I'd love to hear what you think of this month's edition. So today's program, I have updates for you on rich text releases in incident management, self-service portal, new ways to manage API accounts, additional fields in automated actions. We're going to talk a bit about NIS2, some other updates, and I've got a pretty neat tip for you for October, which is also one of the gems we've recently been talking about in the community. And I hear people have some issues with my mic. I hope people can still hear me properly. If not, I can see how I can fix this, but I'm going to continue for now. So rich text, well, we all know there's a situation that you will receive an incident and think, huh, what is it that you mean? Sometimes the description can be a bit vague, but a screenshot might clear up everything. That is why it's starting from October, we've added something that many of you have been really waiting on. You can now start copy-pasting images directly into conversations into the incident card. No more hassles with saving and then uploading again. Now you can just do Control-C, Control-V, which makes your life a bit easier. But what does that mean? Well, this feature is part of our new rich text editor in Incident program. The rollout to all our test environments started, and like I said, only test environment started on October 13th. We're about 40% in of our test environments because we've been running into a few hiccups. But we're rolling it out to test environment first, and we're going to evaluate, see how things work, and then we're going to do the rollout to all production. So know that this will first become available for operators, and then later also in the self-service portal. But please note that once this editor is active, Topdesk will use an updated incident management API. So please check out the integrations that you have, especially if you're retrieving messages with images via the API. All information on this can be found in the 2 knowledge items that are mentioned over here and are in the resource list. And we're staying a bit in the spirit of ease of use and visual clarity, because the self-service portal recently also got a fresh new look and feel, or an update. Well, not the entire self-service portal. Specifically, 3 pages have been redesigned. The service page, the knowledge base overview, and knowledge items. So what does that mean? It means a clearer design, improved readability, and a pleasant experience for searching for information or requesting services. Everything looks fresher, more intuitive, and it better matches how people consume information nowadays. So let's take a look at these pages. First of all, the service page. In addition to the new design, there's an important addition to this page, which is called next steps or further actions. All flows linked to a service page now appear clearly in this heading. It makes it easier for all users, including screen readers and accessibility tools. And we have applied the design standards with an extra attention to accessibility and responsiveness. Knowledge items no longer open as a pop-up on your page, but as a new page. And at that new page, you'll also see a new handy banner so that you can easily return to the service card that you are coming from. And as you can see on the knowledge item card, you can now easily share a knowledge item by email, but it's even easier because you can now also share the URL in your search bar, in your browser address bar. Sorry, I was looking for the word browser. Makes it even easier. And then the knowledge base overview page. This has been given a complete fresh look and feel. So instead of columns, you now see clear blocks from different folders. And this look helps keeps it calmer and makes navigation easier. It keeps things organized. Each block displays a maximum of 10 items, and it helps you to find what you're looking for easier. So now I want to quickly move over to my demonstration environment and actually show these features to you in Topdesk. So by now you should be seeing my self-service portal. And in this case, we are going to go to Office and Facilities. And let's pick one. Well, we'll do printers. As you can see, these are all the services that are now related to printers. Here you can see further actions. In this case, here I get the new look and feel of the page, and I also have frequently asked questions. And in this case, for this example, I'm going to show you the printer empty toner. As you can see, this is a knowledge item. Previously, it would be opened as a pop-up. It will now show as a new page. You can now also easily share this page by using the browser, the URL in the browser, or share it by email. And this is the handy banner that I mentioned just before. It says you navigated from printer service printers. Go back to the service. And then I'm going to show you the new knowledge base. This is the knowledge base. And as you can see, it's clear, it's easier accessible. And one of the questions that I got Tuesday during the Dutch webinar is, what happens if I have more than 10 items in such a category? Well, there's the blog Show More, and it will show you all the knowledge items that you have in this category. Well, apparently I have a lot in this one, so then I can hide again. One thing that's also kept is the top 10 most viewed items. These are all the most viewed knowledge items in your database. So this is not a personal setting. This is throughout your database, the top 10 most viewed knowledge items in your knowledge base. I have only 3 because this is a fresh and new database that I got on Monday. So I've only accessed 3 knowledge items, but obviously you would have a lot more here. So that's what I wanted to show you in regards to the new self-service portal pages. And now we're moving a bit to a more technical topic, a technical side, but I'm going to keep it with a practical approach. To improve the API accounts as a part, the use of the API accounts as part of the One Topdesk user, we have introduced a new API account card. Previously, API accounts were regular operator cards that had a check mark for automated actions and integrations that worked, but it was not always clear, especially when multiple accounts were involved. With the new card, API accounts now have their own place in Topdesk. And it's important to note that they do not use an operator license, even with the extended rights. This makes managing your integrations clearer and more efficient. Because an API account usually is not linked to a person card and the button for manually creating operator cards has been removed, a new button has been added to the supporting files overview page. It's called the API account. And having this separately really ensures like a clear separation between people, the human side, and machines, the integrations. So no longer an operator card, but a separate API account card. And on the operator or the API account card, you'll notice a few differences. First of all, the Topdesk login, it only has a field for login name. So no password field anymore. Authentication now uses an application password. Application passwords, which is a new section. This is where the application administrator can now add passwords without logging out or switching users. And what we've already did, this migration has already happened. So existing API accounts and application passwords have automatically been converted to a new card already. But if you want to still convert an existing operator card into an API account, this is possible. You just need to create a new API account card with new application passwords. Update these passwords in your automated actions and integrations to prevent disruptions. It's an extra step, but it ensures clear separation between users and systems, and it increases security. And now I quickly want to show you where to find this in Topdesk. And in order to do so, I'm going to log out of my self-service portal first and log in as an operator. I'm going to start sharing my screen with you. Yes, by now you should be seeing my Topdesk home screen. And for this, I am going to browse to my modules and then to supporting files. And over here, you now see the API account button. I can easily create a new API account. I need to have my surname submitted, a branch, and a login name. And then I can save and start creating application tokens. This is where you find it. If you still have those operators that are not migrated yet, this is where you can create the new API accounts. A great improvement has also been made for everyone that is working with automated actions. You now have more relevant information available immediately without extra steps. Previously, a separate HTTP step was necessary to retrieve data, but now you can use many fields straight away, for example, in email actions. Your actions become simpler, clearer, while giving you access to all the necessary data of Topdesk. From now on, you can address somebody by their first name in emails. The field first name has been available for linked operators and persons cards. For example, you have an asset card with an assigned person. You can now easily add first name into insert value. This makes your communication way more personal and friendly. And additionally to that, you now have access to names and email addresses of linked elements such as branches, locations, operator and operator groups, suppliers, budget holders, and service windows. And this allows you to also respond faster and better adapt to your user's situation. So let's get over to the next topic, more extensive logging related to NIS2. We're going to take a look at the broader context as in which we as Topdesk are operating, such as a software provider. In 2024, the European Union introduced the NIS2 directive, an important step to strengthen cybersecurity across all member states. Although national legislation is still being developed, and some countries might have it already, and some not yet, but we at Topdesk, we really have examined what is expected from software providers. This includes stricter requirements regarding the availability, integrity, and confidentiality of systems and data. For us, this also means thinking ahead. We are taking measures to ensure our processes and projects align better with this new directive. So you, our customer, can continue to rely on a secure and stable environment. And we will continue to closely monitor all these developments, and we'll make sure that we are ready as soon as the national legislations come into effect. As mentioned before, we really looked into what are the things that we need to focus on, and we've identified that the logging capabilities needed an update to better align with the expected NIS2 requirements. That is why we've implemented several enhancements to what is logged in Topdesk. For now on, you can find more logging on changes in permissions, operator groups, individual operators, filter configurations, and the logging settings. This means that you have more insight and better traceability to have a strong foundation for your compliance. How each EU member state will implement NIS2 into a national law is not fully clear yet. Therefore, we do expect more changes in Topdesk in the future, and we will continue to moderate this closely so that we're sure that we're ready on time. But I've got some questions coming in as well on how to find these login options. So for that, I am gonna prepare my demonstration database again, and that I will be able to show you where to find this input. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen again. So by now you are seeing my Topdesk screen, but as you can notice, it looks a bit differently. So I'm in that web dev environment, which you can reach via your regular URL. In this case, it's tilly.topdesk.net, and what you need to put behind it is web dev. Here you can find the access logs, and you can see the logs that have been created. So this is everything from this month. This is where you can download all the logging files. So if you need to have access to this, I think you really need to be a staff in contact, but and you need to be able to log in. But know that this is available to you. So now I've got a few minor other updates for you that I would quickly like to cover. As part of the One Topdesk user project, two important improvements have already been made that we've talked about, which is linking persons and operators. And last month, we also talked about bulk linking this via the bulk link wizard. But we've noticed that not all customers have linked persons and operators yet, and that we're a bit behind, or you're a bit behind on the deadlines that we've set for this. These are not new deadlines that we are communicating here. We've mentioned them before, but I quickly want to urge you to take time in the upcoming weeks or days, if you haven't done yet, to make these improvements, because from November 1st, new operator cards must be linked to a person card upon creation. And from mid-February 2026, all operator cards, including those that have not already exist, must be linked to a person card. Unlinked cards are automatically linked to a newly created person card, which can lead to duplicates and loss of incident history. So if you haven't created time yet, please allocate some time in the upcoming days or weeks to make some effort and to do this. And finally, there is a great opportunity for you to help shape the future of Topdesk yourself. We have renewed the Explorer of the knowledge base, an important step forward to better permissions and filters. This is something that you've all been really asking and waiting for. This update will make it easier to manage knowledge items more intelligently and display them more precisely. We are ready to launch the first beta version of this Knowledge Explorer in November. And you can be one of the first to test it out. The beta will be installed on your test environment so you can experiment safely and provide us with valuable feedback. So if you want to join this beta, scan the QR code that you see over here, or find the link in the resources. And please help this development team out. Join the beta program, test for them, see if and where they can improve before we release this new Explorer of the knowledge system. And in the meantime, I'm going to look at some questions that I can answer so that you have time to scan. But I see that my colleagues from support have already answered most of the questions, so nothing for me that's left open for now. And otherwise, I do see a few questions coming in, or that came in on NIST-D, which is the UK version of NIST-2, and if it's going to be included in the same way. I don't know, but I will make sure that we get back to you, to the customers that have asked this question, with an answer. Because I'm only aware of NIST-2, I hadn't heard from NIST-D yet. We will get back with you with an answer. For the complete overview, you can go to releasenotes.topdesk.com. We do releases multiple times a week. So please keep an eye out on this page to get the most up-to-date information. I do have a few upcoming events and webinars that I want to inform you all about before we move over to the tip of October. And these are the upcoming few webinars. First of all, tomorrow I have the honor to host the Topdesk Halloween event, Spooky Service Management. So for all the Dutch viewers today, if you want to join me tomorrow morning at 9:30, feel free to sign up. The link is in the resources list. For all my Belgian viewers joining us today, we have Topdesk on Tour coming again. You can still sign up until I think the 5th of November. And the next new is scheduled for the 27th of November. So if you want to make sure that you're all up to speed by then, I think we are going to cover topics like, let me check, we just had a meeting on that. The self-service portal, new self-service portal, open beta. A bit more on user unification, and I've got some updates on the task force coming up in the upcoming weeks that I will tell you all about on November 27th. So let's move over to I got a question coming in, or a comment coming in from Matthew. Did you know that in the US, November 27th is a national holiday, Thanksgiving? I was aware, Matthew. It's more that we are keeping a rhythm where this webinar happens on the last Thursday of the month. So I know that not a lot of people in the US can join me on that day, but I do hope that you will sign up and watch the recording of that edition as well. So let's move over to the tip of October. And as I mentioned before, this is a gem that we've been talking about in the community that I wanted to share with you all. And it is to add an activity template to an ongoing extensive change. Recently, someone in the community asked, can you add an extra activity to an ongoing extensive change without creating a whole new one? And the answer is, yes, you can. And it's even simpler than you might think. You can now add an activity based on existing activity template directly to a change that is already in progress. Super handy if you realize that during an ongoing change, that something extra might be needed. Do note that you can only add activities that are available for the execution phase that your change currently is in. So if your change is already in the evaluation phase, you'll only see the templates configured for that phase. And I quickly also want to show you in Topdesk where you can find this. So I'm going to log into my Topdesk environment again, and I am going to show this to you. And for that, I am going to start sharing my Topdesk screen again. And by now you should be seeing my home screen. I'm going to go to modules, and we're going to go to change management. So we're going to go to the extensive changes. Here you see everything that's going on in my database, and we'll open this one. And I'm going to go to my planner. So in this case, this change, extensive change, is already in the evaluation. If I think like, hey, I want to add an extra activity, you can either do that by creating a new activity over here. But if you know that you have a template for that already, you can just open the bar on the right, and you can see all activity templates that are available for the execution phase where your change currently is in. So these are the only activity templates that are available for the evaluation phase. If I would open a different one, see if what we have over here. Here you can see this is a change that is in the progress. So now I see all my templates, which are a lot, that are available for the progress phase. And you might think, where do I get these activity templates? Well, I have those over here. Here I can create all my activity templates. And in order to know in which phase of the execution they are available, I will just open one. Here you can see the planning that this change activity is available for the in progress phase. If I would create a new activity, it is you can set for which phase it is planned for. So for the request for change, the progress, or the evaluation phase. And we had customers in the community that have been working for 15 years with Topdesk that weren't even aware of this feature. So it's something small, but I think it's something that not a lot of people that work quite a lot with change management are aware of. So I hope this tip really helped you out. And I'm quickly going to share a little poll with you because we're really nearing the end of today's webinar. And before I go over a few questions, I wanted to know if I can help you out with anything that you might have heard today. So I'm quickly gonna start a little poll. After this webinar, I want, like, how can I help you? You want to be contacted by your account manager? Let me know, or receive more information on the rich text and incident management. I will share the knowledge items with you. If there's nothing, that's perfectly fine as well. And in the meantime, while you're voting, I'll take a look at some of the incoming questions, because I saw one from Derek, where we received an email regarding the AI changes. Can you cover some of these changes in next webinar? I'll probably touch upon them, Derek. We still have a meeting on that in the upcoming week. So I hope that I can share more with you in the next webinar. Otherwise, I can at least tell you about them. Let's keep it at that, but I hope to be able to show you more. A question from Luke, if we'll still give an update on copy pasting incident management, or did I miss that? Yes, Luke, you missed that. We talked about that as the first topic of this webinar, but I can quickly summarize it for you. We are in the process of releasing rich text to the test environments. Once the release to the test environments is done, we will evaluate and then start with the release to all production environments. So this is an ongoing project, and probably next webinar we'll still talk about it, or I'll give you another update on how we are doing with this release. Let's see if there's anything else. I saw a question from Kevin, the self-service portal. Any plans to let us know the use of batch fates at the edges of the screen? To be honest, I don't know the extent of the new SSP yet. I get informed in the upcoming weeks. But there's a new SSP coming up. And I know that the dead space on the site has been a topic that's been discussed multiple times. If you want to know more on the new SSP and what it can do next month, I'll definitely have an update for you on the open beta for the self-service portal. And Menno, thanks for the compliments. The ghost with